3, 2, 1.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cloister of the Dice. I am your one and only gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and we are back with a very scuffed and very cursed brand new season of our dice rolling adventures.
Oh, don't even get me started on it.
I mean, I could, but that'd be redundant.
Yes.
I mean, we haven't even started rolling, and already the dice gods are already screwing us over.
But
It's too early for this.
That is a mood.
With me this time around, of course, I have the man who's arguing with himself and losing, Brother Hydra.
No, no middle. You put the pants first, then you put on the shoes.
We have making their debut in the monastery. The one who seems to rain on everyone's parade. Good brother Kosi.
Morning, everybody. I got up early for Mildred, so I hope he appreciates it. I had 4 hours of sleep.
Hey, I've had about 3 myself. I get it.
Yeah, I didn't expect I'd have to deal with police car noises in the middle of the night.
Oh.
But that's a whole other story. And of course, our producer and person who's been arguing with Reactive because of their update recently.
Yes.
Good Sister K.
Reactive, if you're listening, give me back the option to set the reactive images myself, please. It'll make things so much easier.
Yeah.
So this is a new season that I've been having in the works for the last few months. And apparently I've had it in so much the works that the ownership of this particular game has changed hands. But for this new season, we are going to be running 7th Sea. Now, 7th Sea is a game that has a long and illustrious history, not too far removed from another roll and keep game that has been covered on my channel, that being Legend of the Five Rings. Hydra, Kosi, you obviously weren't there for that, but that was one that I did with Kay and a few others.
That was
a few
fun.
Years ago.
That was fun. I liked that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was done using the 4th edition, not the current 5th. No, there isn't it. I obviously wasn't going to use the 5e version because the last time that Legend of the Five Rings used the D20 system, it was 2nd edition. 2nd edition is not fondly remembered. But 7th Sea and L5R have kind of been companions with each other. Both of them were originally published under Alderac. But when Alderac wanted to get out of the role-playing business, they ended up going to other people. 7th Sea went to Nocturnal, which was Greg Stafford's company, until Stafford went back to Chaosium, the house he built, and brought 7th Sea along with him. And now, more recently, it's been in the hands of Studio Agate over in France.
Oh, who we got?
The alarm did not go off.
It's an ember!
Yes, I had an alarm go off. It did not go off.
Okay, so, really quick, sweetheart, I need a huge favor from you that I'm about to DM you so that way Monk can keep talking.
Okay.
But if Legend of the Five Rings is samurai fantasy, then Seventh Sea is swashbuckling fantasy. Now, does that automatically mean pirates? Not necessarily, but it is going to lean towards that because it is more about the kind of classical swashbuckling adventure. It could just as well be Pirates of the Caribbean as it could be Errol Flynn, or even the I'm not left-handed moments of the Princess Bride, and just as much things like the Duelist or the Count of Monte Cristo. I heard people really hated that version in the early 2000s, but I've never seen it. Regardless, obviously things are going to be a bit light this particular episode because we're focused just on character creation and setting a tone for session 0. And to that end, I will be going through top to bottom when it comes to characters. The only person who I will not be getting to today is Shiva, and when it comes to the remaining characters, those I'll be handling those off screen. And okay, I believe you had said that within the next week the character art should be finished.
That is correct. I've been trying to get stuff sketched out over the last week, but work. Oh my god. So, part of the backup on my end is not only have my hours have been shifting like crazy, but it's possible that I might be getting promoted soon. So, we'll find out for sure soon enough.
Oh yeah. And now, fortunately, Seventh Sea is a very light game, and I should specifically note that we're using second edition, not the original first. The original first, I have the PDFs for them, but they're not easily navigatable. They're just straight scans because you're dealing with a game that came out in the 90s, which is doable, but I wouldn't exactly call it ideal. So I will note as a bit of an amusing thing, when I was doing the setting the tone kind of film that I do for every season, I could have gone with Pirates of the Caribbean. In fact, I was very tempted to. But I felt it was a little too obvious to do that.
It's a smidgen.
Especially when the campaign proper name drops it. So instead, the film that I had everyone go through was Master and Commander.
Damn good movie.
It's a pretty good movie. I think I have an easier time recommending the movie than I do the books. Not that there's anything wrong with the books, but they are very naval technical. Which I can handle that no problem, but for some folk they might have an issue. And those of you who are more familiar with the history of my channel will know that several years ago I did do a review of 7th Sea, which still holds up. That review was done when it was still in the hands of Nocturnal, but there hasn't been any changes from when ownership changed hands. Although on the plus side, it's a bit easier to set up a soundtrack for this than it would have been for the last game. did the best I could, but for
Really?
this one, there's already plenty of. I had to set up a wuxia soundtrack from scratch. For 7th Sea, there's already plenty of swashbuckling soundtracks, and there's shows like Black Sails and games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag I could trip notes from. Or just get an album of, I swear to God, this is the name of the instrument, the hurdy-gurdy. I know that sounds like a name I just
You
made
son
up.
of a... Sorry, don't mind me.
I know that sounds like the name of the name of something I just made up, but that is a legit instrument. It has its own history. It was originally used in places that in churches that couldn't afford a full pipe organ, or were too small to use one. And it's fallen in and out of favor over the centuries. But now, with that said, I see K in Roll20, and I see Hydra in Roll20. I do not see Kosi and
Oh, that's right. Oops.
Ember in Roll20.
Yay.
One sec.
Is that in actual time or restaurant time?
Actual time. No, sorry. Wait. It's too early for this.
Cookie,
You can see my
I feel
brain working
you.
in actually 1/8 speed. It's awful.
I feel you on so many levels, friend.
At least my alarm did wake me up.
Have you
Arguably.
considered percussive maintenance? And just saying that that is always an option that can be pursued. But let's see, as soon as
Oh, that was
the
funny.
others are for those of you who aren't in Roll20 yet, you should be able to find the Roll20 link in the thread that you made for this particular season.
Okay.
Oh, that was funny.
Do you mind pinning me for that? Because I do not have my glasses on right now.
I got you, honey.
Since
Hold
I
on.
do something ASAP.
I got you.
It's
Hold
so
on a
funny
minute.
because I also rolled over without my glasses, and I'm like,
I got yous. I'm just gonna drop it here in the chat.
okay, thank you.
I just pinned the entire damn post. Oops.
That helps.
Sorry. It's at the very top. So I hit copy text when I had the link highlighted, so I thought I just copied the link itself. Can you guys tell I have not had coffee?
Oh my god, we
No.
gotta go right now.
No, the signs were very, very, very subtle.
it's pay to do without glasses, but I got this.
Okay, do I just hit launch game?
Yep.
There we go.
Monk, I will make the request that I go last.
That is fair. I was gonna go in order from top to bottom, but I can skip.
I would also like to go second to last. So that way I have time to clean my glasses.
Sure is Velma in here. But let's see. That being the case, if everyone's in a race to last, that means Hydra, we're doing yours first.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So, first step. Now, the step 0 is concept, but hopefully in the months that we've been playing this, you had a concept in mind. So I will be skipping that part. Though when
Yeah.
you, though
Yeah, pretty much I have an idea, but let's go step by step anyway.
yeah, though when you have time, I'd recommend reading through the game of 20 questions and think about how you'd answer those. You don't have to write out how you do, just something to think over. But we'll start with traits. These are obviously going to be the core attributes. All traits start at 2. You have 2 points you can spend on traits. The 5 traits, of course, being brawn, finesse, resolve, wits, and panache.
I'm picking finesse and wits.
Finesse and wits will be at 3. So, for determining nation bonus, which nation did you end up picking?
Montaigne.
Okay, so you're going to be a relative native in this case.
Someone has to represent the crown. He's the one financing the whole thing.
For those of you who are new to 7th Sea, Montaigne is analogous to pre-revolution France. And it's worth noting that much like how Rokugan doesn't how the setting of L5R Rokugan does not take place in historical Japan. 7th Sea does not take place in historical Europe. It takes place in Thea. There are certain analogs, but it is not a 1-in-1. So, since you're with Montaigne, you have a +1 to either finesse or panache. Which one are you going with?
Finesse.
Alright, doubling down on finesse. Okay. Then we have backgrounds. You can pick 2 backgrounds from either the basic or the Montaigne Nation backgrounds.
Maybe one of basic and one of nation.
Yeah.
Right, so just give me a moment. I'm looking over donations right now. Alright, for nation, I'm going Musketeer.
Alright. Let me.
And for basic, I'm picking Duelist. It's pretty obvious what I'm trying to go for here.
Alright. Let's see, since you went with Musketeer, your backgrounds will be one of the ways that you can earn hero points, which are the game's extra effort mechanic. Um, you're gonna be able. You're unlike some that are very conservative with this kind of mechanic. In this case, you're going to be expected to gain and lose them fairly regularly. Uh, so in this case, you will earn a hero point when you take a serious injury to protect comrades or king.
I'm fine with that.
And there are also a couple advantages that you get: camaraderie and quick reflexes. Uh, I will get into the details on those later when we get to advantages proper. See, you also have 1 point in aim, intimidate, notice, ride, and weaponry. And I believe the other one you went with was duelist. You have devoted your life to mastering the blade. Earn a hero point when you resort to the edge of your blade to defend a noble ideal. And that is going to grant you the duelist and academy advantages. As well as 1 point in athletics, 1 point in empathy, 1 point in intimidate, 1 point in perform, and 1 point in weaponry. So next is skills. This is where you're going to have the most amount of points to distribute. You have 10 points to add to existing skills or new skills. Each point is a 1-to-1. You cannot have any skill with more than 3 points.
Right, so I'm going to max out to weaponry.
Alright, that's 1.
I'll put in 3 points in warfare.
Alright, that's 4.
I'm going to max out intimidate as well.
Alright, that's 5.
And the same for athletics.
Alright, that's 7.
And Now, how many points do I have on empathy?
1.
Alright, I'll put 2 more in empathy.
Alright.
And the last one will be on right.
Alright, since you've got a few that have 3 ranks, I need to check the reroll. When you have 3 ranks in a skill, you can reroll 1 die when you use that skill. At 4 ranks, you can double down on raises. I'll get to what raises are after character creation is finished. And at 5 ranks, 10s explode. I.e., reroll 10s and add the result. And if you roll another 10, you keep going until you don't roll a 10.
So basically, I could keep on rolling infinitely if the dice god permits.
That assumes you will have the dice god's favor, and that is one hell of an assumption to make.
Yeah, we all know the answer to that.
Some people in the monastery know that answer more than others. Mike. Okay, if you listen close, you can hear Mike Shell sneezing in the distance.
I had myself muted at first, so you guys didn't hear my bark of laughter. Oh, God.
So, yes, that was years and years ago, but
you'll never let him live that down, I know.
No.
So, for context, Koki, Mike had a shield that he tried to do a Captain America thing with, but the shield was his main weapon. And I believe had a gun attached to it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Did the gun go off?
No. He threw the fucking shield like he was trying to be Captain America.
With a gun.
With the gun attached to the shield. Instead of using the fucking gun. We'll never let him live that down. Nor the legend of the Red Mother.
The legend. Like, I don't go out of my way to pick on players, but some people have a habit of just doing things.
Excuse me.
Well, Kay's gone bye-bye, Egon. What do you got? But Mike had a repeat habit of doing things that just kept feeding me ammo.
Well,
that he did. That he absolutely did, but oh my god, it was freaking hysterical every single time.
Yeah. Now, granted, the Red Mother thing was because of his whole thing of hitting on everything that moves.
Yeah.
To the point where keep it in your pants, Varric, became a running joke.
And has been for the last 7 years?
Yeah.
Oh god, was it the kind of guy who probably played a bard and seduced the dragon?
Wasn't playing a bard. We weren't running D&D. But getting back on saner matters. So next is advantages. You have 5 points to spend on advantages. Obviously, advantages cost from 1 to 5 points. Some advantages, depending on your choice of nation, are going to be easier than others to get. They will note whether that's the case.
Alright, just let me take a look at the list. Alright, this
Oh,
I've picked one to get 2-point advantage, perfect balance.
all right. So you've got 3 remaining.
And I'm going to 3-point advantage, Fencer.
All right. So with camaraderie, whenever you spend a hero point to aid an ally, they gain 4 dice instead of 3. For quick reflexes, I need you to pick one skill and that is going to benefit from quick reflexes.
Oh, hold on, quick reflexes. Give me a moment.
You choose one skill. You always take actions as if you had an additional raise to spend when you use that skill.
I'm actually looking at the character data, yeah, link on Google Docs, but I'm not seeing the quick reflexes or anything.
Um, that is in the advantages tab and under 3-point advantages.
Alright, quick reflexes. Alright, let me take a look.
Also, I don't need to be second last. I got my glasses and everything so I could see what I'm doing now.
Alright, so for quick reflexes today, I think I'm going to put it in, on the weaponry. Wait, if that makes sense. Let's see if I understand this right. You know what? I think I will go for quick reflexes. I'm going to pick weaponry. Alright, where's the aim at again?
Right, so let me. So since you went with Duelist Academy, which school of dueling are you going to be going with, or which style?
Definitely going to classic fencer with a rapier style. Very much in line with the like.
No. Which of the styles that's listed in the dueling document?
Hold on, just a moment. I'm gonna go with parry.
Parry is one of the actions that anyone who has dueling style uses.
Right. Here we go. Dueling styles. I'm actually gonna go with the Ambrosia.
All right. All right,
Yes.
Ambrosia is going.
Oh, I thought you were saying my name. Sorry.
Nope. So each each having a dueling style means you have access to the slash, parry, feint, lunge, bash, and riposte maneuvers. Each each dueling style grants a style bonus. In your case, it is Veronica's Guile.
Indeed, the idea is to pretty much have like the classic rapier and the dagger setup.
See, Veronica's Guile. When wielding a dagger in your right hand and a fencing sword, such as a rapier or cutlass, in your left, you gain an ability called Veronica's Guile. When you build a risk pool for weaponry, you may use either your finesse or wits. If you spend a hero point, you may use both. So that takes care of that. See, for perfect balance, you can spend a hero point to move across a beam, jump from one place to another, or otherwise do a feat of perfect agility and balance. For Fencer, you gain one bonus die when you make a weaponry risk using a rapier, dagger, cutlass, or similar weapon in one hand. I will note, you might end up looking at the character sheet when you see it and going, wait, where's equipment? Seventh Seed is not interested in tracking that kind of minutia with equipment.
We just assume we are carrying on us at all times.
If it's something you need, you've got it. And Dan, I'm aware of the echo. Nothing I can really do about it at this juncture. So sorry about that. Now let me. So there's one. Let's see, so perfect balance and fencer, so that takes care of your advantages. Next, I need you to pick one of the arcana, and you will be gaining its virtue and hubris. These are once per session effects that you can do to either gain a hero point or to perform certain feats that you wouldn't otherwise be able to. There are 20 arcana in total, and yes, it is kind of drawing upon the major arcana in the tarot, just with a setting appropriate take on it.
Alright, that's actually just a moment.
I know I made this joke already, but actual time or restaurant time?
Restaurant time.
And while you look through that, I will note both virtue and hubris for the arcana are once per session things. A virtue is something that you can activate to perform some particular action. Uh, a hubris is something that you have to act in accordance if the GM offers you a hero point for it.
All right, I picked. It's the war.
All right. So your virtue is victorious. Activated when you first wound a villain during a fight to make them take a dramatic wound in addition to the wounds you normally deal. I'll get into wounds and dramatic wounds in a second because it is technically the HP of the system, but not in the way you might think. Right. And loyal, you receive a hero point when your hero goes back for a fallen comrade or refuses to leave a wounded ally. So the next step is stories, and every every character has some sort of goal that they are pursuing, and inevitably gets rewarded for that goal. While there are a few examples of stories and first steps within within the document that I sent you all, um, I want you to think of a story that your character is pursuing, and what the first step towards that story is. If you don't have one in mind now, this is something that we can come back to later off screen. But I at the very least need it by next week.
Actually, I pretty much already have a where he is right now. Now, my character, he literally just graduated from the Musketeer training school, and he wants to go ahead and prove his worth.
All right, proving one's worth is a nice setup, though I though that I'll get into having you refine that because that is a bit broad.
Indeed.
Uh, so the final steps. The first one is reputation. Uh, and it's usually a single descriptive word that describes how people generally perceive you. And as it says in in the text, it's best to avoid nouns and use adjectives. Um, this is one that we can come back to later on.
Yeah, I'm going to think on that a little bit, and I'll definitely let you know when I've made my choice.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to wealth and profession, obviously, duelist as a profession is way too broad. So, what would your character do as a means to pay the a means to pay the bills essentially?
Well, today I'm actually going to bank on my ability to write that, and I used to be yeah, just to train other people how to ride horses, or at least I used to be paid.
All right. I'll put in jockey and have that at 0. Um, so, and there is languages. Let's see, you have a wits of 3, so everyone speaks Old Thean. That's kind of the trade comp. That's kind of the trade language. You also have your native language of Montang. And you can speak one other nation's language since you have a wits of 3.
Just out of curiosity, from a geographic point of view, which is effectively the most likely neighboring the country, if you would?
Uh, well, like I can answer that far more directly because I have several maps of Thea. Uh, so, if you would give me a moment, let me. Here we are. Let me just do a little bit of copy paste. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is a map of Thea. You'll find that in the side chat.
Yeah, that's definitely not Europe at all. You know what, Tefik? What's the main language of over at Avalon?
That would just be Avalon.
All right, I'll pick that as my third language.
And if I need to explain what Avalon is analogous to, then I will have very strong questions to some of you.
Oh, relax. We all know the story about that king from Britain.
Yep. So, given that, I would also say that that of the available secret societies, your character is associated with the Knights of the Rose and Cross.
Yeah, nah, that makes the most sense.
Uh, which you start with 2 favor for that one. And for now, that pretty much covers everything. So, what what did you have in mind for a name for your character?
All right, so my character's name is Francis Lebois. Lebois.
Could you write that in the side chat, please?
Sure.
All right. So that takes care of that. Um, so given what was mentioned earlier, Kosi, you are up next.
Oh boy. I was
Um,
not gonna lie, I was kind of scrambling in the corner here. But I think I got it.
yep. All right. So starting right at step one, we have traits. Again, you have 2 points to spend. You have 2 points to spend on the base 5 traits.
Right. I was looking at resolve and wit.
All right. So we'll bring those up to 3. Now, next step would be nation bonus. Which nation did you pick?
I'm gonna go with Castile.
Castile is our legally distinct Spain. So are you going with +1 finesse or wits?
It will be. Uh, I'll take the finesse. I was thinking all wit, but I'll take the finesse.
Yeah. All right. Then backgrounds. You can pick 2 of them. Um, Whenever you pick a background, you get all of the background's advantages and 1 rank in each skill that background has. You have You can pick any of the basic ones and any nation backgrounds that are Castile ones.
Okay, got it. I think I was gonna go with engineer for basic background.
Okay, so with engineer, you earn a hero point when you use your technological savvy to solve a problem.
Hmm. And then for the nation background, I'm gonna go with alchemista.
All right. I should note going forward that it's not required to go with one of each. That is a choice. Uh,
Hmm.
so you earn a hero point when you improve another Thayan's life through alchemy. Uh, so let's see. We'll start with engineer. You gain 3 advantages off of that instead of 2. Um,
Okay.
Masterpiece crafter, direction sense, and time sense, as well as 1 point in aim, convince, ride, scholarship, and warfare. Um, as combat engineers are a thing, some of you have probably played 2 for it. Know the value of solving practical problems.
I'll take a wrench to it.
Yep. Uh, let's see, you also get alchemist and cast iron stomach, as well as 1 point in empathy, Notice, another in Scholarship, one in Tempt, and one in Theft. And I'll fill in the details on that at a later date. So next is skills. You've got 10 points. You've got 10 points of skills to spend. No skill can be above 3.
Okay. 10 to spend. This is the one I didn't have set in advance, so let me just look through real quick. Okay, so I'm going to do. Okay, I'm gonna put 3 into Scholar, 3 into Sailing. Oh, what is this?
You already have 2 points in Scholarship, so that's just 1.
Oh, okay, I see. I didn't realize it rolled over like that.
So that's 4 points spent so far.
I already said Sailing, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll put the last 3. Where is it?
Oh, not like you've got 6 left. You only spent 4.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'll put 3 in Theft.
All right. So you already had 1 in Theft, so that's 2. So you've got 4 points left.
I'll put 3 in Convince. And then I'll put the last one at.
All right, you've got 2 points left. You already had 1 in Convince.
Oh. I'm really rounding myself out here then. I'll put the last 2 in. How many do I have in athletics?
None.
Okay, I'll put it in there.
All right. So the next step is advantages. You have 5 points to spend on advantages. Unless it says otherwise, you cannot buy the same advantage more than once.
Okay. I'm going to take the 4-point advantage of Alchemist. That seems pretty handy.
Yeah. Except you already have it.
Oh wait, really?
You already
Oh.
got it from picking the You would get.
Oh, okay.
You had already gotten it because you picked Alchemist as one of your backgrounds.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay. That's hilarious. Okay. Hmm. I'm very on brand, as you can see.
What? Head into the clouds?
Yeah. No coffee up here yet. DoorDash is taking a while to get here. Just kidding. Um. Dang. I'm gonna take the 4.1 that's hard to kill.
You no longer become helpless when you have 4 dramatic wounds. Instead, when you have 4 dramatic wounds, any villain who takes a risk against you gets 3 bonus dice rather than 2. You gain an additional tier of wounds. When you have taken your 5th dramatic wound, you become helpless.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then.
So that leaves you with 1 point's worth of advantage left.
I like the 1-point advantages ones. They're very, like, flavor texty. I think I'll take the Foreign-born one. And I'll pick Avalon as my birth state, I guess.
Alright, so you were raised in Avalon, but you're not, and you're not from. You're from Castile, but you were raised in Avalon. So that's character background / character blackmail that can be used. So the next is the Arcana. So which of the 20 Arcana are you going to be going with?
So for this one, I picked. The Glyph.
Alright, so the virtue is temperate, and the hubris is superstitious. Prevent any magical effect from affecting you. Be sorcery, artifacts, or monsters. And you receive a hero point when you refuse to solve a problem using sorcery, an artifact, or some other mystical effect that you don't trust. That'll be interesting come later, but that's a spoiler. So unless you have a story in mind, we'll hold off. We'll hold off on that.
Yeah, it's still pretty vague in my head.
Mhm.
Um,
Just think that over and send it to me when you've got it ready. I will need it ready by next week.
got it.
And it definitely sounds like this is, yeah, like you were playing somebody who is more of a scholar than a combatant.
Uh, yeah. I'm I'm still like unsure about what all my details are, but I'm associated somehow with like the Explorer Society. I'm still gonna try and figure out what the relation is, but you know, I'm cooking stuff up there.
Since you're affiliated with the Explorer Society, that's two favor. You start with two favor from them. Um, I did put in scientist as profession, just based on the way you've been building it so far.
Yeah, like, and also just like a what's it called, like a handyman.
Uh, I can also go with the classical version of a artificer, but so with that in mind, um, what did you have in mind for the character's name? And make sure to write it in the side chat so I don't misspell it.
Okay, let me put it in here. And I'm just gonna have it as Javier de la Luz.
Javier de la Luz. All right, let me edit that so you can see it. And Em, I know you'd said you were good to go, you're good to go, but Ember, you are up next.
Alright. For background, I haven't written it down, but I know what I want.
Yeah. So
I
we'll
will
get.
send that to you.
Yep. So first off is traits. As mentioned with everyone else, you start with 2 points in all traits. You've got two more to spend.
Mm-hmm. Where do I find traits at?
Uh, in the character creation document.
Oh, okay. I had to double check about that. Definitely wits. I'm gonna put 2 in wits.
Uh, all right. So which nation did you have in mind?
Um. Oh God, if I can pronounce this, Sussura.
Uh, oh, Uthra. Which you're quite a ways from home, given what I have in mind for the campaign. Usra is the legally distinct Russia.
Amazing.
So you can get +1 to either resolve or wits.
Resolve.
All right. Then for your choice of 2 backgrounds, what are you going with?
Aristocrat and artist.
All right.
And I was gonna go with sorcery.
What we will get to that in a moment. There's a few things I need to put into aristocrat to your backgrounds first. Let's see, since you already have the advantages of rich and disarming smile. And let's see, 1 rank in aim, convince, empathy, ride. I think we lost you for a second in roll 20, and scholarship. Let's see. What was the other background you were going with?
Artist.
All right. All right. And that gives patron and fascinate for advantages, as well as 1 point in convince, 1 more in empathy, 1 in perform, 1 more in ride, and 1 in tempt. And next we have skills. You have 10 points of skills worth to spend. No skill can have more than 3 points. More than 3 points total. That includes the points you got from your background.
Okay, how many points do I have in convince and empathy?
2 in each.
Okay, I'll put 1 in each of them. How many do I have in hide?
None.
I'll put 3 in that. I'll put 2 in notice, and how many do I have left?
You got 3 points left.
I'll put 3 in brawl.
Alright. Next is advantages. You have 5 points to spend in advantages.
Okay, let me look over advantages. There are a lot of advantages.
Yes, there are.
Oh god. I'll probably go... How many do I have for advantages?
5.
I'll put 1 in Devil's Own Luck.
Oh, I don't want to check. I think you had said earlier you wanted to invest in sorcery.
Yes.
Oh. So sorcery is not a universal spell casting. There are different types of magic for different cultures. And in your case, that would be and since you're from Usura, that'd be Mother's Touch or Dharmachki.
Which one would be Knights of Avion? A-V-A-L-O-N, because I was looking at that one. Because I might change my background if I can get that one.
That'd be. That would be Gesa.
Okay, then I'll pick that one.
Just let me find that. That is under sorcery. Let me.
Sorry to make you change it.
I just need to see where it is under cost. So sorcery is a 2-point advantage.
Okay.
But this is where things are going to be tricky. Because in order to do Knights of Avalon, you have to have Avalon as your nation, or take the foreign-born advantage.
Okay, that's completely fine. I'm fine with changing that.
All right. In that case, I need to alter the nation bonus. So
And what
you
are
had
the
that in.
bonuses?
Yeah, you had that in Resolve. So, if we're going with Avalon, you can keep it in Resolve or put it in Panache.
What does Panache do? I mean, I have an idea, but just to make sure.
Panache represents your hero's charisma and style. If she wants to get across a burning room using Panache, she would convince someone to carry her across the room. You can also use Panache to impress a foreign monarch to convince a pirate captain that he'd be safer in his chambers than in the brig.
Definitely changed Panache.
Right. So, within the sorcery page, since it is talking about the Knights of Avalon, what I would need you to do is pick one of the knights that you have the embodiment of.
What is Knight's embodiment? I didn't scroll down to see this. Oops. Forest King, Knight Protector around. Sorry. Probably. Wealthy. Though I might have to change wits because that would be 3 in it. Actually, that would be 4.
You have 1 rank. So you're going with Edberg the Wealthy.
Yes.
Gives you the major and minor traits of panache and wits. All that means is that determines the glamours that you can pick from.
Okay, that's fine.
Um, so since you went with the wealthy, the uh, for major glamours you can pick wits. For minor, resolve. I'm sorry, panache and wits respectively. I was looking at the wrong one. And you can pick you have one major glamour and two minor glamours you can pick.
Okay. Where do I see that on?
Under glamours.
I do not
Each
see
one will.
glamour. Unless
Are you looking in
it's...
the Are you looking in the sorcery document?
Oh, sorcery document. There we go. That's what I need to look at. I found the glamours.
All right.
I'll probably do pretty look for a minor. And for major, I'll probably pick reduce the villain.
So let's see.
I thought that might be helpful.
Let's see. Reduce the villain as major. And pet petty luck. You got one more minor glamour you can pick.
One more minor.
Yep.
Me. Sorry, I was your stream. Decided to glitch out for me, so I had to fix that really quick. The very last one on the page, summon SIDHE.
Seed.
Yes.
All right. The details on those I will cover
Later.
on a later date.
Back to advantages points. Point advantages.
Yep. Since you went with sorcery, which Sorcery is a 2-point advantage, so you've got 3 points left.
Alright. I was thinking of putting one into Eagle Eyes. One into Friends at Record.
Wait, Eagle Eyes is 2 points. So that's it.
Oh. What's the difference between knack and not knack?
Knack just means that you have to spend a hero point to use it.
Oh. I'll just instead go with Friends at Court instead of Eagle Eyes.
Okay. So, next is Arcana. Which of the Arcana are you going to be picking?
Ooh, the lovers got me interested. Star-crossed.
No, you pick one of the Arcana and you gain its virtue and hubris. You don't pick individual virtue and
I
hubris.
picked lovers then. Sorry, misunderstood.
Right, which has the virtue of passionate and the hubris of star-crossed. All right. So you already mentioned the thing with stories.
Yes.
And for languages, you already gonna have Old Thayan, as well as Avalon. And you get one more nation's language.
I accidentally closed the document. Let me reopen that. Where do I find... Oh, languages, I found it. I'll take the... I do not know how to pronounce it. It's right up above Sophia's Daughters.
Okay, that's secret society. That's not a language.
Oh.
When I'm referring to language, it's the language of other nations. You're from Avalon, so you have Avalon as a language.
I completely misunderstood. Where's languages at? I mean, I see languages.
Languages is just referring to the list of nations, so you can just look at the list at nation bonus and go with that.
Where's list nation again?
Step 2, nation bonus.
Step 2 nation. Thank you. Then... The second one down. I do not know how to pronounce that.
It is more. Alright.
Yes.
Innismore is if its coat of arms wasn't an indication, is a legally distinct Ireland.
Perfect. I am somewhat Irish in my bloodline, so.
Alright. So, what did you have in mind for the character's name?
That is the only thing I haven't thought of. I am horrible at names. I usually need help with names, so I will DM you a name once I figure it out.
All right, you got a week to do it. So do not join the 1997 Procrastinators Convention.
I will not. I will DM you the story after I have somebody help me write it, and I will also DM you the name once I have somebody help me come up with some horrible names.
Let me.
Ember, I actually might be able to help you with that. Because, I'm going with Innismore myself.
Okay. Well, since you have volunteered, you asked to be last, so.
I've actually been writing everything up because I had to go through and reread everything again. But I've got all my stuff written down, so this will make it nice and easy.
Alright.
So, as I mentioned, I have also chosen Innismore.
So let me put that in on the nation part of the top. So,
Hey,
starting with.
Can talk to each other then.
Well, everybody can talk to each other. You all speak Old Thayan.
Yep.
That's the
I mean, we
point
can
of.
speak that language now.
Yeah, that's the point of a trade language. So we'll start with traits. I've gone over that. So what are you spending those 2 points on?
Resolve and Finesse because I already have Wits and Panache.
Yep. Well, with that +1, you gotta pick one of them.
Oh, I thought I got both out of with that from what I was reading.
Nope.
Alright, hold on. Let me go back. Oh. Let's go with Wits.
Alright. So Finesse, Resolve, and Wits are at 3. So what did you have in mind for backgrounds? Remember, you have access to basic as well as any Innismore backgrounds, which there's only one.
Yep. So, she's going to be a quartermaster, actually. And
so, quartermaster is one.
And then the second is actually going to be the Seoi. And I will get to that as to why later. Because I have been working on her background as I've been going. So, for those that don't have access to the documents we do in the chat, the Seoi have the highest honor of being bestowed by the Astana, a state-supported association of Innish creative artists. There's a reason for this, I promise you.
There's a method to the madness, there's just a lot of madness.
Exactly.
I love that.
And quartermaster, you serve aboard a ship, taking care of all the things the other sailors ignore. Which I immediately think. Sorry to do this game, but I immediately think of your cooking and you bothering some of the people at MetroCon about not eating.
No, more than likely, I'm going to be going toe to toe with Koki's character about how much food they're using.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see. You do get a few advantages off of that.
That I do.
Andy.
Got it.
Got it. And
Sea legs. And the Seoi, team player, disarming smile, an able drinker.
I have a feeling able drinker is going to get abused because it basically means you are immune to the mechanical effects of alcohol.
I'm Inish. What do you expect?
Yep. Maybe I should have put a Dropkick Murphy song in the playlist.
You still can. The session 1 starts next week.
I'm not doing that because songs with lyrics kind of distract from the point of it being a soundtrack.
True.
But let's see. Quartermaster also has 1 point in aim, brawl, hide,
Sailing,
and
warfare.
Yep.
And then the ones for the Seoi are athletics, convince, empathy, perform, and weaponry.
All right. So that brings us straight to skills. You have 10 points of skills to spend. No skill can have more than 3 ranks total.
All right. This is where I've got hung up and where haven't gotten much done on with everything else. So, we are actually going to go ahead and put 1 extra point in perform.
Alright.
I'm going to put 2 points in sailing.
So that's 3 so far.
Yep, I'm keeping count. 2 points in aim.
Should have to check the reroll. Okay, halfway there.
1 point in convince. So that's 6. One point in hide.
Yep.
One point in brawl. And 2 points in athletics.
All right. Then we have advantages. You've
Yep.
got 5 points to spend on advantages.
Already got those. Advantage from the 1 point advantage list. Linguist. Considering I'm a quartermaster, it makes sense to be able to read everything.
Yep.
Uh,
The dead languages.
yep.
That might be useful.
And the other two are going to be Eagle Eyes and Married to the Sea. Which makes my which takes up my 5 points.
Oh. Yep. I will note the party will already have access to a ship, though it's gonna be a bit before you get it. That being the Labelle Transverse.
Mm-hmm.
Since that counts as having access to a ship, the ship will get an additional background. Oh. So that's something I will cover in a bit. That's something I may have to do. May have to do off stream.
Mm-hmm. One second, Monk. Alright. Shall we move on to Arcana next?
Yep. Hold on, I need to double check something regarding the ship in question.
Mm-hmm.
I think I cannot. I just remembered that I do have the ship background in that document, so I should be able to knock that out pretty easily.
I was just looking at them, or at the backgrounds myself. A Jenny in every port would be funny as hell.
What does that one do?
Make port in every nation in Thea. When you make port in a Thean city, any hero can spend or a raise or a hero point. Whatever authority exists in the port, the harbor master, customs officer, and admiral knows your ship and her crew and treats you relatively well until you give them reason not to. This doesn't mean they will let you break the law, but they might let you bend it a little.
Ooh, that'd be so useful.
The Labelle Transverse is a 3-masted bark. So this is a ship about 150 feet long. So its origin is Montang. And its starting background is Prominent Battle, which means it can take 5 critical hits before it gets crippled. Let's see, max crew is 20. required crew is 7, so that's what you need for a skeleton crew. Cargo is 2. Wealth is 4. It also has, it does have 2 rows of cannons. And when the crew is split up into brute squads, they gain the pirate's ability. Two. And the ship the ship will have its own particular cast of characters, which I will get into when the time comes for that. Let's see, cargo, that's a rating of 2. Class, let's see. Okay. Which is supposed to be I'll go with 3 for now. And let me see, do we have a... Do have a master? It does have a master gunner. I really hate it when I copy paste text from a PDF and it decides to add a extra space in between each letter. That's mostly a quirk of text stretching with some programs. The ship will also have a gunsmith.
I apologize for any crunching you'll hear in about 3 minutes.
It's fine unless you share.
It's just a little bag of popcorn.
I'm going with that existing ship because that is the main ship that you're going to be using in the expedition, and it would be a bit odd for a quartermaster to have their own ship.
Yeah, that's fine.
But let's see, getting back so that takes care of advantages. So next is Arcana.
I am going with the Prophet. Virtue, illuminating. Activate your virtue to know whenever another character lies to you until the end of the scene. Hubris, overzealous. You receive a hero point when your hero strongly defends one of her opinions when the time or place is inappropriate.
Right, I think. Yeah, so that takes care of that. I already explained how Arcana and Hubris are going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do you have a entry in mind for stories, or are
I
you holding off
do.
on that? All right.
I'm going with Vendetta.
Yeah.
For
Obviously, the stories in the thing are suggestions.
Oh, no. I have been working on this.
All right.
So, about 2 years before the start of this campaign, my character was serving as a quartermaster on another ship. We were on a routine run, simple cargo, minor risk, but someone I trusted sold us out. So poisoned the supplies, there was a mutiny mid-voyage, and then a betrayal that cost my character everything. Long story short, left for dead after a fire. I was left for dead after a fire broke out on the lower decks. I survived, but barely. I've got burn scars along my left shoulder, and I walk with a slight limp in the colder months. I don't talk about the mutineer that orchestrated the mutiny. I don't mention her by name whatsoever, but it is a woman. And I'm definitely out to find her.
I should note within the primer, there's a few example stories that can be drawn upon if any of you need help with that.
Ow, 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 hot! Popcorn!
So those are ones that you can consider. Within the page, you'll see that within the post, you'll see that I put in a primer. At those of you who are more veteran to this sort of thing will know that I always try and have a primer set up.
Yep.
For full size adventures that I do.
But no, well, I haven't mentioned her. She is running her own ship now. And, my first steps are going to be disrupting her, supply lines. And as a quartermaster, I know exactly how to do that.
I will ask some details on your nemesis off stream.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get to the final details. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that your character might have some association with the Brotherhood of the Coast, unless one of the other ones you think might be a better fit.
Didn't choose a secret society, actually. I couldn't find one that really fit my character. Let's see.
The Brotherhood of the Coast is they are essentially they're essentially pirates.
Okay.
Essentially a pirate brotherhood. One that has its own charter, which is basically their version of a code, and it is not a guideline.
Actually, no, that would fit.
And I know some might go, it seems like everybody's part of some secret society. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the thing with 7th Getting on 7th for that would be like getting on L5R for the fact that everybody's part of a clan. But I'm guessing you had Quartermaster in mind for profession.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We start with 2 favor, 0 wealth. That doesn't mean you're flat broke. It just the only time you use wealth points to spend on something is when it's something that's beyond basics. You're not going to be spending wealth on getting a 5-foot length of rope or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go because of you picking linguists. I just wrote all Thayan languages for that part, for the language part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because having you listing off which languages you can speak would be kind of redundant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this does mean if you're dealing with languages outside of Thea, you might have some trouble.
Fair.
But mostly because it would be too powerful if you could speak every language on the planet.
I mean, I've already made her a polyglot, so let's not.
Mm-hmm. So, what did you have in mind for the name of said character?
Keelan O'Torin.
Alright, could you write that
K-E-E?
in...
Oh, I was just gonna spell it. Hold on.
Could you write out the side chat?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a lot easier if I just copy pasta that.
Fair enough.
that in, so let me make sure you can see it.
Oh.
So, I did mention I was going to get to things like raises, hero points, and wounds. So, raises is essentially the action currency. The way the system works is everybody describes what their approach to a certain scenario is going to be, and then they make their roll, and the amount of raises that roll generates determines how much they can act. Now I'm going to use Kay's sheet as an example for this.
Ah.
So bear with me for a moment.
Hold on.
So let's say we're using wits and sailing. No penalties, no bonus. You're rolling a number of d10s equal to the trait and skill you use. You generate 1 raise for every 10 points you roll.
Hold on a minute. There.
So in this case you rolled, it's a 40, so that would be 4 raises. You can you can do a reroll, which just means you'd replace the lowest die with whatever you rolled. Which in this case is a
It's a 10.
Mm-hmm. So that would just mean a roll of 49. You're replacing that 1 with a 10. And obviously the plus 2, 3, and 4 dice, that's self-explanatory. So that would mean that you could each raise that you would spend is essentially one beat of an action.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how complex the action is, it may require more raises. I will inform you if you have enough for that. And obviously at higher rankings you do have the option of exploding dice.
Mm-hmm.
Now when it comes to wounds, obviously wounds are HP, but it doesn't work the exact same way as normal hit points. When you take damage, you would take a wound. For every 5 wounds that you would take, the 5th one is a dramatic wound. A dramatic wound will gradually give you a greater benefit, but when you take 4 dramatic wounds total, you are considered helpless. This is why the health system is referred to as the death spiral. I wish the death spiral graphic was in this sheet, but it unfortunately isn't, so I have to make do. But just to illustrate what I mean, let me grab one of the character sheets that I have. I'm just going to screen cap. I'm just going to screen cap the death spiral entry in it. This isn't the official sheet, but it's one I've used for IRL play. So this is how the death spiral works. And anytime you make a roll, it is referred to as a risk, just to make that clear. So you can kind of see how that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And Lastly, with hero points, if you do something suitably dramatic, I will grant a hero point. If you do something that would generate a hero point, like from your backgrounds, or from your hubris arcana, that also generates one. There is no cap on how many hero points you can have. That's what the 0 at the top is. You can spend a hero point to give yourself a additional D10. You can spend it to give 3 dice to an ally, or you can spend it on knack advantages. So those are the base parts of what you can do with hero points. If you played any game that has some sort of extra effort system, it's in that vein. So, for the final bit before we wrap up for the day, and I know this didn't go the full length, but whenever we're doing character creation in session 0, it rarely does.
I don't know. There's a couple of times that we've gone over.
Yeah, those have usually been because we had more detailed character creation, and 7th C is not as detailed.
And there are a lot less dice rolling involved as well.
So this is taking place. Our adventure is going to be taking place in 1668 in the Thayan calendar, and the Emperor of Montaigne is not happy because his rival, the good King Sandoval of Castile, has brought back a unique wonder from the New World. And has gotten a lot of eyes on the Castilian court, which has given Sandoval a bit of prestige in the San Cristobal, the capital of Castile. The king of Montaigne, Leon Alexandre, is not far removed from Louis XIV, and is not happy with the idea that his rival in Castile has, in his mind, humiliated him and thus humiliated the nation. Therefore, he has put out calls for adventurers and heroes and the like to go on an expedition to the new world to bring back a artifact that he, quote, a gift so resplendent that even Thais would have to bow to such magnificence. Cardinal Vertigo was not fond of his choice of words. Whoever brings him back an artifact worthy will be rewarded with titles, lands, a position in government, and an imperial favor. Thus, you essentially have a expedition gold rush, and that includes you all. But because of that, I'd like to go around and ask, and feel free to skip if need be if you're not quite sure on this. Why your character would want to take the long trip to the New World, and
Well, As represented.
Hydra, one at a time. um, Kosi, I'll start with you. Why would Javier want to go to the New World?
It's definitely going to be for some sort of like research purposes for sure. I don't know yet, but it's definitely for that.
Yep. Ember, what about your character? Why would they want to go to the New World?
Why they would want to do it?
Hmm.
They were basically guilty of doing it.
Which I can get that, but I would advise you to reconsider that, since
Okay.
the PCs are supposed to be larger than life heroes.
Not only that, those from Innisbrook welcome adventure like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'll try to think of something else.
Mm-hmm. Hydra, what about Francis?
Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. Considering that how l'Empereur pretty much also wants to show off, this is also an opportunity for my character, who is a proud patriot, to earn the favor of l'Empereur. And if he accumulates enough, maybe, just maybe, he might return the favor someday.
Well, if one of the things you might get is an imperial favor, that's certainly one way to do it, since that's essentially a boon. Um, but Kay, what about Keelan?
Keelan's going to be hunting. Because her nemesis is already set out for the New World.
And if it wasn't obvious that the New World is the legally distinct version of the American,
yes.
I will note in advance that that the part of the New World that we're heading to is a legally distinct South America.
So we're going to a legally distinct Brazil or something?
Not quite, but just to illustrate the matter, this is a map of the New World, and I think you will be able to very plainly see that even though I called it legally distinct South America, that's not entirely the case. There's some commonalities, but it is nowhere near a one-to-one.
Mm.
Oh. But I do hope that none of the characters have an aversion to travel by boat.
None whatsoever for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm pretty scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure my character will vomit a couple times. Yeah, they're not used to ships.
Yeah. But like if you had some sort of allergy to seawater, then that might be an issue. Or if your occupation was a more sedentary one, like an innkeeper. and the concept of slavery will be brought up, and each nation does have different attitudes towards it. Avalon has it completely outlawed. Castile slavery is not illegal,
But it's frowned upon.
the church prohibits it. Even though the church doesn't have technical political power, practically speaking, they do. So because of that, Castile doesn't see a reason to have a ban of slavery in its legal code because the church does that. Isen depends on who you ask. The only thing that is permitted is military conscription. Now, in terms of the protections of conscripts, that varies from region to region. Montaigne, no prohibitions are against slavery. It used to be that the clergy stood strong against it, but the clergy doesn't have as much power in Montaigne as they do in Castile. The Samantine Commonwealth, it is not only forbidden, it is strictly enforced. Usura doesn't have it outlawed, but Usurans will often refer to themselves as slaves to their czar, as just a part of life. And Vesten, which is very much a legally distinct version of the Nordic countries of Scandinavia. Even though the term thrall is used, thralls are not exactly slaves in that sense. And Vodak has outlawed slavery, but nobody's noticed. So while it isn't going to come up immediately, slavery is something that's going to come up. So have in the back pocket how your characters would treat slavery. It's not something that's going to come up in every session, but it will come up here and there. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is, within this particular rule set, you're not going to see me do a whole lot of dungeon mapping or the like. It's going to be very theater of the mind. Especially given the whole theme of dramatics that this particular system goes for. So because of that, it is going to be vastly dependent on you all describing your approaches. This does mean if any of you do I hit it with my sword, I'm going to ask you to do it again.
The more detail you give, the better.
Because that is the detail is going to determine how I'm going to first off whether or not I'm giving somebody a hero point for their actions, and also how much raises you might need to do a certain action. Just think of raises as a kind of action point. The more complex an action that you might want to take, the more raises it's going to require. This also means that there isn't really going to be a roll for initiative in this system. I I will it's more of a rotating spotlight, much in the same. Think of the way a camera is going to focus on certain characters throughout a conflict scene. This is referred to in some games like Feng Shui as the spotlight, and that's how things are going to work within this. I realize that for some, this may be a bit of a shock. Like we're not doing maps, we're not doing minis or anything like that. Contrary to what certain people will claim, you do not need minis or a full map for a ttrpg. And in fact, depending on the game in question, having that kind of approach can be a hindrance more than it can be a benefit. But with that said, do any of you have any questions on how the game is going to be played when we start next week?
No, seems pretty straightforward.
So about Spotlight, yeah, it's effectively on today. Is there like a fixed order, or today, how are we going to go about this?
That's going to be on me.
All right.
Remember, a GM is as much a director as they are a referee and judge. And as such, I'll be handling the. Nope. I'll be handling that aspect. In some games, the GM is more of a judge. In a game like this, the GM is akin to a director, like a director for a film. That's why I'm saying that you're not going to be rolling for initiative. It's going to be I'll be shifting the focus to different spots. I did say that this was going to be a different experience. So nobody blame me for following through on what I say. But any other questions from anyone else, or
Nope.
does everyone kind of get the gist on things?
I'm good.
Within the next week, it might be a good idea to spend some time studying, like scenes in different swashbuckling movies, and I did list some recommended materials within the primer. One of them we watched a few weeks ago on the over in my server. But there's a few others, and I didn't list any video game examples I could have done, because the main ones that came to mind were Sea of Thieves and Assassin's Creed 4. And it felt a little too obvious to go with those. You know, low-hanging fruit, as it were. In fact, the fruit is so low-hanging that it's on the ground rotting. You can't even make wine with it. But I will. I'm also gonna have to add in the. So just as a note for you, Hydra, within the bio and info part of the character sheet, I'll be putting in a quick reference for the dueling actions.
Thank you.
You and Joe's character are the only ones who will have that because you're the only ones who have a dueling school. I'll end up doing a similar thing for the glamours when it comes to Amber's character, but that's for later.
Okay.
But with that said, that more or less covers everything regarding how things are going to work out. Once I am able to, I will be filling out Shiva's character sheet. And we should be good to go to start next week.
That we should.
Mhm.
Now,
On Saturday the 13th.
now
And that is not a Friday.
I do want to make it known to everybody. Every other Saturday will have a hard stop time of 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I'm probably going to be fighting with my boss, but he keeps trying to push the agreed time back on what time I'm supposed to come in every other Saturday. And yeah, we're going toe to toe because he tried to put me back at 5 o'clock this weekend, and I'm like, no. We agreed 5:15, Donnie. I need to be in at 5:15, not 5 o'clock. I've got stuff I'm taking care of every other Saturday. So, long story short, hard stop time has to be 5 p.m. so I can get to work.
Yeah, that is perfectly fine. And I'm no stranger to stopping early sometimes if I feel like there's a natural break point.
Yep.
Which is why there's been those times where I don't even do the intermission. I'm not going to do that this time around because I don't see enough of a reason to. Now that being said, over on this channel, stay tuned tomorrow for the first episode of a series I'm going to be doing called Faded Continuum, which is going to be taking the Legend Edition project I've been working on the last few years and exploring how we would adapt the core Final Fantasy entries into that, starting with the original. We're starting with the original and going up from there with a few asterisks. But those asterisks won't be coming into play until several months down the road. But please look forward to all of that. So until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody.
Ready to go to outro in 2, 1.